What's up, YouTube? This is Dave's Had Enough Wine 7. This is another video to do with my weekly review for the Exorcist TV series, Episode 3, Let 'Em In. And another video from Dave. And yeah, pretty much is my weekly review for the Exorcist TV series, which I have to say I'm really enjoying. I really like this episode. Not as much as the prior ones, but I thought it was really good. I just thought it was slow. But at the end, that motherfucker picked right back up and, got me really excited for next week with the previews. But before I get into all that, I want to thank all you guys for checking out the prior Exorcist reviews, if you were ones that did. I appreciate all the support. They're doing really well. I'm really happy with them. Same thing if you checked out the American Horror Story reviews. They're doing really well. If you haven't, check them out. I would appreciate it. And if you had, like I said, much appreciated. You may notice that I am in a new place. I don't got everything set up how I want it. I usually have the TV in the video. I put that in there because I had people at one point, believe it or not, I know this is fucking crazy. You may not be one of these cases, but there was people complaining that I didn't have fucking kitty posters on my wall like I'm fucking 10 years old again. So I put a TV in there so they'd be even more entertained. I would think me being enough would be, enough entertainment with me talking about what you came to the video for. But no, I have to put like an image of the show I'm talking, which it makes the video look better. I do agree, but I just got to give me some time. I just moved in. I'll have things set up better, hopefully, throughout the following weeks. Give me time. It's just, moving sucks. It does. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to go over the important parts of the episode, touch on stuff here and there, and give you my final score and call it a fucking review. But like I said, let's pretty much say, like I said, it was a slow episode. It was slow, to be fair. The first episode was really good. I thought they kicked it off great. The second episode fucking raised the bar, and this one kind of lowered it a little bit, but at the end, it brought that bar right up back where it was. So I think next week it'll be really good. My only gripe with this show is I think they're moving the exorcism along too fast. I mean, like the first episode, she already thinks her fucking daughter's a demon. I'm like, come on. I'm like, you're already assuming your daughter's fucking possessed. Like, I understand she's a churchgoer, but that would be if somebody's like probably really religious. They're like, oh, the demons are in her. And she automatically thinks her daughter's a fucking demon. So I thought it was moving along pretty fast, and then, we're already, pretty much in the stages of, like, crazy shit going on with the girl, which if you ever saw the Exorcist movie, it takes a little while to get there. Here we are going on the 4th episode. If you saw the previews for next week, they're already at the fucking hospital. She has the fucking cord hanging down, the breathing tube hanging down from her nose, like in the Exorcist movie. I mean, she looks fucking creepy, just like Linda Blair. I thought they did a great job with that for, what they show with the previews. This episode does make a reference to The Exorcist that I really like, the original, which we'll get into in just a second. So basically, it starts off 5 months prior. They bring us back 5 months prior. They actually tell us, show us what happened with Kat and her friend Julia. We knew that Julia died, and Kat was upset about her, but we didn't know what all really went down, why she's so upset, which we learned not only was she a great friend, but she was a great lover. And pretty much they're in the car, talking back and forth, and Julia's asking her, hey, what do you like, in a relationship with a person you're attracted to? And then it turns into like Julia talking to Kat, like, oh, I like legs for days and all this shit. And then she asks Kat what she likes about her, and then she puts her hand on her leg. So I mean, I thought it was maybe like the demon was doing that, but no, it was actually 5 months ago, like they said. I thought it was gonna be like something going on with the salesman or something. So next thing you know, you see a guy standing in the middle of the road, which I'm assuming it's one of the fucking demons. And pretty much that's his plan to get her friend die, and it all falls into the possession. Because the demon does say that in the episode. It was the design, which I'll get to in just a second. So pretty much she's in the car fucking banged up, screaming. Looks over to Julia. They show a shot of Julia, and really, you look through the windshield and you see her fucking all mangled. She's done. And then she's screaming. It would be pretty fucking terrible, I would say. Your best friend and you're somebody you're with, you know, your partner fucking gone, you know, toast. So after that, they bring us to the hotel scene with this Bible thumper yelling in the road. If you ever seen in big cities, Bible thumpers is fucking ranting and fucking raving like fucking crazy people. But this one was a demon. You know, the demon had some kind of, you know, you could tell he's one of the possessed ones. So basically you see Angela telling her assistant or somebody near her, we need to do something with that. Then it goes to a murder scene where, you know, the whole crime scene from last week where all them people were fucking killed and fucking, you know, disemboweled. And organs were taken and shit like that. And you have Father Marcus basically, you know, asking some of the, you know, townspeople or people in that area, you know, what happened. They think he's a cop. They're like, we're not fucking talking to you. And they're sitting there, you know, talking about the cops in a negative way because cops have done some pretty shitty shit lately. So I like how it's like in modern time. So then Father Marcus says, I'm not a cop. Do I look like a cop? And they said, yeah, you look like one of those cops that have no friends. And they start really getting on him. And then he pulls his collar and he's like, yeah. They're like, oh, are you serious? Are you for real? And then they start giving him information. So after that, you have the dad at the church basically asking Father Thomas if he believes in, you know, demons. And pretty much Father Thomas along the line says, if you believe in God, you should believe in demons too, you know. And then you have Casey basically at the store shopping for Kat, you know, with Kat. She has to get a dress. She's going to go with Kat to the basically the memorial thing for her friend, you know, the wake, I meant to say, like for a friend that died or her lover. And, you know, Kat's trying to get her to get this dress, and the salesman shows up, and she's like, oh, look at, he's telling Casey, oh, look at her dress, you know. He's like, take this one, and this one's really expensive, she says, and he rips the tag off, tells her to put it in her bag, you know, below her bag, and pretty much steal it. Kind of turning her into a bad person, kind of how like Reagan was in the original Exorcist, where she started mouthing off to her mother and changing her personality, because there's a lot of changes in Casey now. So then you have Father Marcus basically walking through the house with the parents, with Angela and Henry. And he's basically trying to see if he's, you know, feels anything. The mother asks him, can you sense anything? And he says to her basically, he says it don't work like that. He ends up grabbing some items from Casey's room, which he uses for later. And then they basically have this meeting with the Pope where basically, you know, they're worried about the Pope's safety in the town of Chicago, and she asked the one lady asked the father, do you think it's okay? And, you know, then they're talking about all that shit, and then all of a sudden that fucking Bible thumper's on fire. He's out there looking up at them, freaks them out. Then they have this, like, smoke that rises that they make you kind of, like, concentrate on, which I thought was pretty creepy. So, after that part, you have the whole scene with Casey and Father Marcus and Father Thomas in the back of the church in his office with the parents on the outside, which Angela's feeling really bad that she's not in there. She don't feel it's right what she's doing with Casey. In this scene, she goes in full exorcist mode, not full exorcist mode, but she does go into exorcist mode, and because basically you got Father Marcus pretty much tempting, you know, the demon, and we learn that this item, like this mirror, she accepted, I believe, from the salesman. That's what I gathered, and that's how he got into her, you know, if you've seen the episode. So we learn where the demon basically got, you know, a hold of Casey. And then she's basically, when she's the demon, because the salesman tells her, get up, leave, because he's provoking her with, like, you know, being jealous of her sister, just trying to get her mad. He knows the demon's going to come out. Father Tomas tried, but he failed. He couldn't do what he was doing. He was asking her if she spoke in tongues, can she move this? But when the demon came out, it started talking shit to Father Marcus about the boy, how his neck snapped, and, you know, getting him really upset. He's like, oh, that left a real dent in you, didn't it? Pretty much because he kind of lost his faith a little bit. So we learn where the demon came from. So after that part, you have a meeting with the priests, which they're mad at Father Marcus and Father Thomas for doing what they did. Father Marcus loses his rights as a priest. They kind of write him off. They give him some papers. And then you have a scene with Casey, and you hear the parents all mad and Kat arguing. And then Casey, I thought she was going to start masturbating with the flat iron, but she ends up burning herself, and the salesman's in the back. It was a real creepy scene, and she's just sitting there smiling. Then you have Father Marcus drunk, feeling bad at the church about basically losing his rights as a priest. And then Father Tomas basically talking to him. He's like, "Are you drunk?" And then he's basically telling him back, you know, we need you for this. We got to help this family. And Father Marcus basically saying, "You don't know what you're in for." And then they have Julia's wake, which is basically at Juilliard, where, you know, all her fellow dance people are all there celebrating. You know, that's like in memory of Julia. And you have pretty much Casey acting up there. They all like pour a bottle, and then she grabs the bottle of liquor because they all pass it around. Then she comes up and grabs it and starts drinking it, and she wasn't a part of that. She's just there in support of her sister, but she's ruining it. And then you have a little scene with Father Marcus burning the paper that they gave him. Then it goes back to the whole thing with the wake, and they're doing like a performance for Julia and Kat, and she starts to cry, and then the salesman's over there feeling up fucking Casey. I thought she was gonna start masturbating or something there. Then Casey pretty much leaves the wake, and pretty much you have a scene with Father Marcus basically talking to Father Bennett about, you know, it shows that he's still on his side, but he, you know, gives him some tickets to Tallahassee. I guess he has to make it look like he left, but then on the back of the tickets, it shows he still has support, you know. So he's gonna help him, but he's not a part of the church. He knows it's serious. He knows that the 9 people killed, there's something gonna go down. Father Marcus thinks it's gonna be more demons. Then we get to the part that made the episode at the end in the subway, where the dad basically chased after, you know, Casey, told the mom, "Hey, I got this, you be here for Kat." Chased after Casey. Here's Casey in this nice dress on a subway with a bunch of drunk people. The dad pretty much blacks out from his injury. He wishes, you know, in the episode he says he wished he never, I guess a scaffold fell on him or something happened like that, which caused brain trauma. But then pretty much you have all these drunk guys get on there. They start touching up Casey. They said, "Oh, you're looking for it, huh?" And then all of a sudden we see the salesman. He comes up, starts kissing her, and she goes into full fucking Exorcist mode. Everybody's watching it, filming with their camera. She grabs his fucking nuts. He's bleeding from the mouth. She throws him. Another guy comes at him. She throws him. And then she gets on him and starts fucking scratching him like a fucking cat or like a tiger, ripping him apart real fast. And the crazy part I thought about this, here she is, and then she grabbed him by the jaw, and I thought she was going to kill him. But what she did there, I don't know how she's going to get out of that. That demon pretty much ruined her life. You know, I think, unless they're going to say that was self-defense, but that's fucking nuts. It's all on camera, so I wonder how she's going to get out of that. They show previews the next week. She's in the hospital, so it looks like they're moving into this Exorcist, you know, shit with her possessed really fast, and she looks fucking creepy. I really enjoyed this episode. I mean, it was slow, but the ending, you know, really fucking picked up. You've seen good things. We learned, you know, how she got possessed. There was stuff in here. There was stuff going on with the church. We learned this one lady, too, that was donating to Father Marcus. I forgot about that part. She basically wants to help the church because her husband loves the city, and she gave him a big check for like, you know, $100,000, and he was a little worried about taking it. Then he learns that she just wants the city. I thought maybe she had other, you know, ideas. Maybe the demon was part of her, but no, I think she is a good person. But yeah, it was a great episode. If I had to score it, I gave the first episode a 9, the other one a 9.3. This one was a little slow, but had a great end part. I would say I'd give it a 8.7. That's my review, guys. I enjoyed it. I love this series. I see a lot of good feedback for this season, and for this series, and I see a lot of bad feedback. I think we'll get the whole season. I hope they don't take it off. When I look on YouTube, a lot of people like it, but then you read some reviews on like the web, and it's like people are saying it's not scary enough. What the fuck do they want? Jump scares all the time? Come on. This shit is fucking awesome. It's something I always wanted. As a true Exorcist fan to the original, I think they're living up to the you know, to the people that are fans of the original movie, and they're doing it well. That's my thought, guys. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Sorry for this review being late. I did a couple of them. I wasn't happy with them. I'm happy with this one. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Thank you for the support. Later, guys.